You grab the same jar every week without thinking twice. It's smooth, it spreads easy, it tastes fine. But here's the thing, that convenience didn't happen by accident. Manufacturers figured out a way to make peanut butter that never separates, never needs stirring, and stays shelf-stable for a long time. And the way they did it involves oils and additives that a lot of health researchers don't love. Today, we're going through 11 brands and showing you exactly what's inside each one. So next time you're standing in that aisle, you actually know what you're picking. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 1. Jif Creamy Peanut Butter. Jif is the best-selling peanut butter in America, and that's not luck, it's engineering. Every jar tastes exactly the same because it's built to taste exactly the same. Pull up the ingredient list. Peanuts are first? Sure. But right behind them, you've got fully hydrogenated vegetable oils, mono and diglycerides, and sugar. That's what's keeping the oil locked in place. That's why you never have to stir. Now, fully hydrogenated isn't the same as partially hydrogenated. That's the trans fat the FDA banned. But it's still a processed fat your body doesn't find in any whole food. It hardens at room temperature, which is exactly what makes it useful as a stabilizer. The mono and diglycerides are emulsifiers. They coat the fat so nothing separates. The result looks like peanut butter. It spreads like peanut butter, but it's held together by chemistry. Number 2. Skippy Creamy Peanut Butter. Skippy sits right next to Jif on every shelf, but flip it over and the ingredient list tells a different story, because Skippy uses palm oil as its stabilizer. Here's the thing about palm oil. It's solid at room temperature, so it works great for keeping peanut butter from separating. But it's also one of the most saturated vegetable oils you can eat. High saturated fat intake raises LDL cholesterol. That's the bad kind, the one your doctor watches. And here's the kicker. Palm oil doesn't just raise questions about your health. Its production is one of the biggest drivers of deforestation in Southeast Asia. Whole rainforests cleared for palm plantations. So that smooth, no-stir texture is costing something on both ends, inside your body and outside your window. Number 3. Peter Pan Creamy Peanut Butter. Peter Pan has been on shelves longer than most people can remember. A lot of people grew up eating it. That kind of history builds trust, and trust makes you stop reading labels. But look at what's actually in it. Fully hydrogenated rapeseed oil, fully hydrogenated soybean oil, mono and diglycerides, sugar, and salt. That's 5 ingredients added on top of peanuts. Each one is there to either lock the texture, kill the separation, or make it taste better than it naturally would. Those hydrogenated oils start out as plant oils, but the processing makes them solid and strips out the heart-friendly fats in the process. And here's the kicker. This brand once had a major salmonella outbreak tied directly to its manufacturing plant. Long shelf life doesn't mean clean, it just means stable. Number 4. Great Value Creamy Peanut Butter. Now here's where it gets interesting. Great Value is Walmart's store brand, one of the cheapest jars you can buy, and you'd think cheaper means they cut corners on ingredients. But flip it over and read the label. Fully hydrogenated vegetable oils, mono and diglycerides, sugar and salt. It's the exact same formula as the name brands, word for word, almost. Here's the truth. Those stabilizers aren't premium ingredients. They're cheap industrial fats. So when you pay more for a name brand, you're not getting better ingredients. You're paying for the logo. And that sugar and salt, that's there to cover up the flat taste the processed oils leave behind. Without it, the product wouldn't taste like peanut butter at all. Same formula, different wrapper, twice the price. Number 5. Kraft Smooth Peanut Butter. Kraft is the go-to peanut butter for a huge chunk of Canada. Big brand, familiar label, been around forever. You trust it without thinking. But look at what's in it. Roasted peanuts, soybean oil, icing sugar, and salt. That icing sugar, that's powdered sugar in your peanut butter. Most people have no idea it's there because it dissolves completely. You don't taste sugar crystals, you just taste something slightly sweeter and smoother than you expected. That's exactly the point. The soybean oil isn't hydrogenated, which makes Kraft a step cleaner than some brands on this list. But it's still extra oil added on top of what's already in the peanuts. There to make it spread easier and skip the stirring. Sugar that hides. Oil you didn't ask for. Number 6. Reese's Creamy Peanut Butter. Reese's makes candy. So when they put out a jar of peanut butter, guess what? It tastes like candy. That's not an accident. The ingredient list has fully hydrogenated vegetable oils, mono and diglycerides, sugar, and salt. But the sugar load here is higher than most other jars on this list. It's engineered to taste like the inside of a Reese's cup, because that's exactly what it's trying to be. Here's the kicker. It's sitting right there on the shelf next to every other peanut butter. Same aisle, same size jar, same price range. A lot of people grab it thinking it's just regular peanut butter. It's not. It's a dessert product in a peanut butter jar, and the label won't warn you about that. Number 7. Planters Creamy Peanut Butter. Planters built its whole brand on peanuts. The logo is literally a peanut in a top hat. So you'd think their peanut butter would be the cleanest jar on the shelf. It's not. Flip it over and read it. Fully hydrogenated vegetable oils, mono and diglycerides, sugar, and salt. The exact same formula as every other stabilized brand on this list. The company that sells dry roasted peanuts with basically just salt is using the same industrial shortcut as everyone else when it comes to the spreadable version. And here's the kicker. You could buy a can of their whole roasted peanuts, grind them yourself, and get a purer product than what they sell in their own peanut butter jar. Same brand, totally different formula. The logo means nothing. Here's where the list turns around. Number 1, Smucker's Natural Peanut Butter. Smucker's Natural has 2 ingredients, peanuts and salt. That's it. No hydrogenated oils, no emulsifiers, none of that. And the first thing you see when you open it is oil sitting on top. That's not a defect, that's proof. When peanut oil separates, it means nothing in that jar is stopping it from doing what oil naturally does. No solid fat, no chemical trick. The separation tells you it's real. Every brand before this one added ingredients to solve that problem. Smucker's just didn't. You stir it. Store it upside down to make that easier. Refrigerate it after opening to slow things down. That's not a flaw, that's just what 2-ingredient food looks like. One warning, some jars in Smucker's Natural line do contain palm oil. Check the label every time. Grab the one that says peanuts and salt only. Number 2, Crazy Richard's 100% Peanuts. Crazy Richard's doesn't mess around. The product is literally called 100% peanuts, and that's exactly what's in it. One ingredient, nothing else. No salt, no sugar, no added oil. So the flavor hits different. Earthy, dense, slightly bitter. If you're used to the sweetened jars earlier on this list, it takes some getting used to, but that's what a real peanut actually tastes like. The oil separation here is serious. We're talking an inch of oil sitting on top after it's been on the shelf. Stir it well, then refrigerate it. Cold slows the separation down. And if you're watching your sodium, this is your jar, because even the peanuts and salt options add up fast per serving. Those stabilizers were never needed to make peanut butter work. They were needed to make it sell. Number 3, Teddy All Natural Peanut Butter. Teddy has been around since the 1940s, and it's a Northeast staple. If you didn't grow up there, you may have never seen it. But here's the truth. This brand does something a lot of natural peanut butters quietly stopped doing. It keeps the list at just peanuts and salt. That's it. And it's been consistent. Some brands reformulate without telling anyone. Palm oil sneaks in, a new stabilizer appears. Teddy just doesn't do that. You also get options. Smooth or chunky, salted or no salt. That no salt version matters if you're watching your sodium closely. The texture is a little thicker than most. Coarser grind, holds up well on toast. Stir it, refrigerate it, and it stays put. No buzzwords on the front, just a clean label that stayed clean. Number 4, Santa Cruz Organic Peanut Butter. Santa Cruz Organic is the one name that keeps coming up when people who eat clean talk about peanut butter. And the reason is simple. Organic dry roasted peanuts and sea salt, that's the whole list. Here's why the organic part matters. Peanuts grow underground, so they pull in more from the soil than most crops do. That means pesticides and mold compounds have more contact with the actual peanut. One of those compounds is aflatoxin, a mold-related toxin that forms on peanuts during growing and storage. Organic certification means stricter controls around both. The texture is also genuinely good. Smooth enough to spread, clean roasted flavor, and a dark roast option if you want something stronger. You're paying more than you would for Jif, but you're getting actual peanuts. Not a stabilizer system with peanuts mixed in. You just went through 11 jars. 7 of them use processed fats and emulsifiers to stop separation. 4 of them just use peanuts. Those 4 are the ones worth buying. The dividing line isn't price, it isn't brand size, it isn't even taste. It's whether the jar needs stirring. Next time you're in that aisle, flip the jar over. Read the ingredients. If you see hydrogenated oil, palm oil, or mono and diglycerides, put it back. If you see peanuts and maybe salt, that's your jar. Subscribe for more of this. Drop in the comments which brand you've been buying.